heard about being a virtual assistant and you are actually looking for a job and you ask yourself, is that something that I can do? Or do I have what it takes to become a virtual assistant? Or can I possibly actually get a virtual assistant job online? Let's find out. Stay with me until the end of this video and I will tell you the exact basic primary skills that a virtual assistant must have if you want to land a job as a virtual assistant. Let's find out. Hello there, it's Dony once again and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, do not forget to hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell icon as well so you will be notified once I have new videos uploaded. The very first item in my list as a basic skill that one must have if you want to become a virtual assistant is communication skill. So under this communication skill, I am going to share with you 6 essential skills that I personally believe an aspiring virtual assistant must have or must possess or at least learn to have if you would like to have a higher chance of being a virtual assistant. So the very first essential thing or essential item that I would like to discuss with everyone under communication skills is the language. So what is the primary language being used as a virtual assistant or in finding a job as a virtual assistant? I think it is very common. If you have done your research, you will know that English language is the primary language being used if you would like to apply or become a virtual assistant. We have clients all over the world. We know we have different languages. And in my experience, I haven't had any client who needed me to speak a different language, or maybe there are for some virtual assistants, but in my experience, it has always been an English language, or it has always been the English language that I use to communicate with my clients or when I need to apply for a virtual assistant job before. So let's talk about the second item in my list, and it is the non-verbal communication skill. So it is one of the things that you will need. You will need to write your resume, you will need to send your applications online, you need to write your cover letter, and eventually you will need to have a chat or exchange emails back and forth with the client or the company. So here are some basic writing skills that I would recommend for you to learn or assess in yourself if it is something that you already have. And if not, then like I said, you can always learn things. Everything can be learned. So you can start with your English grammar, of course, just the basic English grammar, sentence formation, sentence structure, the proper ways of, the writing structures, the use of punctuations. Those are the things that you can learn if you go through Google and search English grammar or learn how to improve your English. So writing skills, there are a lot of resources that you can find in the internet. So make sure that your writing skills in check if you would like to have a higher chance of getting a client or having a client notice you or notice your application online. So after the writing or the non-verbal communication skill, I am going to share with you, of course, the verbal communication skill, or commonly known as the oral communication skill or our speaking skill. So say you have set your application online to different platforms, online platforms, you have written your resume and you have your cover letter in check as well. And then luckily you have a client notice your application and reaches out to you and will schedule an interview. So make sure that you give it your best shot in that interview and have your oral communication skill in check. So what are the things that you need to develop for you to have an effective oral or verbal communication skill? So I'm not going to get more into details because there are a lot actually. Well, let me just get through maybe 3 basic effective oral communication skills that we can learn or take into consideration. The very first one is the listening skill. And another thing is, or the next one is clarity. And the last one I would suggest is confidence. So you need to be confident when you speak or when you are in the interview already with your client, and make sure that you are expressing your thoughts or your responses clearly. And you should also be a good listener. So I personally always say back whatever I have heard, or I don't know, it's just my habit. Whenever I have a talk even with my clients, I always repeat back what I have heard. I just rephrase it and I just use my own words just so the clients will know I understood, and that also on my end, I also wanted to confirm that I understand whatever instructions given to me clearly. So those are the 3 basic oral or verbal communication skills that I would suggest that you have a check in yourself, or somehow you will need to develop. Depends again on how you have assessed yourself for you to effectively have a shot in that interview with the client. You have to have a good listening skill. You should be clear in your speaking or oral communication, definitely like this. And next thing is, so that's about it under communication skills. So just to recap, we talked about the language, which is the English language, and you also need to improve or have your writing skill or the nonverbal communication skill and your speaking skill or your verbal communication skill in check. So the second essential skill that I personally advise that an aspiring virtual assistant must possess is the computer skills. So under computer skills, I am going to talk about 2 sub skills that have put under the communication skills, and these are the offline computer skills and the online computer skills. So let's talk about the offline computer skills. So these are the basics. So you should at least know how to use maybe your MS Office, Microsoft Office applications, and you should be able to know where or how to save your files and how you're going to locate them again. Also, I would suggest that you must have a little knowledge on how to do a simple troubleshooting if you run into trouble, or if your computer runs into trouble or something. So you should know just the basics on how you can troubleshoot your computer. And another thing is, I would suggest that you should know how to locate your computer's specifications, because there are clients who would ask you what computer specifications you have, so you should know where to locate them in your laptop or in your desktop. Alright, so let's talk about the online computer skills this time. So under this discussion, the very first that I would like to suggest is for you to at least know how to do a research. So with that, you should learn how to use, or at least you should know how to have access to different browsers. And I think I can share with you my top 5 web browsers that I use when I'm doing a research based on my experience, okay? So the very first one in my list is the Google Chrome. And the second one is the Firefox and the Mozilla Firefox. And then the other thing is the Internet Explorer. And there's also this Opera. I haven't really used that a lot before. So those are just the basic web browsers, or at least the most popular web browsers that everybody uses actually, not just us virtual assistants or freelancers. So make sure that you know, or at least you have that in your computer. So the next item in my list, since I have already talked about the web browsers, so you should, I mean this is under the computer skills, the online computer skills that I would suggest everyone must possess, or at least learn. You should have an idea, or you should know how to install or download and install applications. So that is a must. if you're going to work as an online freelancer or a virtual assistant. And also related to that is you should also learn how to sign up to programs or sign up to online applications for you to be able to carry out tasks given to you by a client. So that's also a must-have. You should also know if something has to be signed up for, or if you need to receive an invite to your email for you to sign up or get an account to an application or something. So those are just some of the things that you should at least learn, because you will need that when you start onboarding. Yeah, we'll say for example, you successfully landed a job as a virtual assistant already, and that client and that company you're working for has different applications or web tools that they need you to have or use in your computer in your work. So you should know how to get those applications installed, or how to sign up or get an account to the different applications needed for you to carry out your job. So one of the main applications that I would suggest everyone must learn or must already have in their computer or in their laptop is the Gmail or the Google applications. The Gmail, of course, you need to have an email address. So it's kind of like a must-have if you're a freelancer. If you're a virtual assistant, of course, you will always need to have an email address. So perhaps some of you or maybe all of you watching this video already have a Gmail account. So since you have that already, then that means you already have a Google account. So might as well learn about the different other applications included in that account. You can go ahead and learn about the Google Drive, specifically the applications for the Google Spreadsheet, the Google PowerPoint, and the Google Document. So those three applications I highly recommend that you start learning and start familiarizing with if you're an aspiring virtual assistant still looking for a job, or already a virtual assistant. There are a lot of skills that we need to learn, or at least upskill, in case you already know about the Google Drive or the Google Spreadsheet, PowerPoint, or Google Document. So another application that I would like for everyone to learn is Canva. I love Canva. So I am going to drop the link to Canva below in the description box. So make sure that you check it out for you to also learn how to do the graphics that I do in my channel and also in my socials. So you will learn how to do your graphics as well. No hassle, and it's very easy to use. So check out the description and the link to Canva below. So the next online tools that I would like everyone to learn, or at least familiarize if you're an aspiring virtual assistant, are the different collaboration tools. So I am talking about my top collaboration tools, which are first Slack, the next one is Asana. So these are finally the last item in my online computer skills is the basic troubleshooting online skills. So if I have discussed about some basic troubleshooting offline for your computer or for your laptop, there are troubleshooting skills as well that you need to learn online. So say for example, you suddenly lost connection, or say for example your laptop or your desktop is pretty slow, or the websites are loading slow. So there are some basic troubleshooting that you can do. So make sure that you do that, research about that, so that if it's something that you can just fix on your own, then you won't have to spend paying someone to fix it for you, right? So make sure that you learn that skill too. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end of this video. So those are my primary basic skills that I would like everyone, or I would recommend aspiring virtual assistants to have a review within themselves as well, or see if it's something that they need to develop so that they can land a job as a virtual assistant. And if you are already a virtual assistant and somehow you have learned a thing or two, at least in my video, thank you so much. So if you have anything that you would like to add though, make sure that you share that with us in the comments below. Let us know, and so that I can learn from you too. So thank you so much again. Please do not forget to hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit that notification bell icon as well, so you will be notified once I have new videos uploaded. I will have more I promise. If you are a Bicolano freelancer or even an aspiring freelancer or an aspiring virtual assistant, may I invite you to join and be part of my Facebook group. It's Oragon's Online Workers Network. I aim to bring together all talented freelancers, Bicolano freelancers or virtual assistants all over the world. Let's collaborate, share our experiences, and learn from each other. And at the same time, let's also share our knowledge to aspiring Bicolano members who would also like to become a freelancer or virtual assistant. So I hope to see you in my group.